First, I don't like that he called me by my entire government name, Shannon Sharpe. I think he could have just referenced Shannon and everyone would have known who he was talking about. Skip, I get why he's angry. Because when your friends offer the harshest critique of you, it hurts the most because they're closest to you. And I get why he's angry. He also has a very valid point. I could have called him and asked, Ray, what were you doing? But we have an early show. He's flying back from London. I can honestly say this. I'm not so sure. Had I even talked to him, I still would have said what I said because the optics of it and what he said, even though he says he was praying, and I take him at his word that he was praying, you mean to tell me you can't drop down on 2 knees beside Colin Kaepernick and still ask that God that you were asking to, as you mentioned, in that sea of chaos that was going on off of what President Trump said? I'm sure Colin Kaepernick would like prayers also. He would like someone to kneel down beside him and ask this God, this great and glorious God that we pray to, most of us, some of us pray to on a daily basis. You see, Skip, perception is not always reality, but the optics of it, given what he had said, because when he first had another thing, and you mentioned this, Ray, you got to be careful with social media because he kept saying what they said. They said Shannon Sharpe said. We know who those they are.
Yep, we do. Or we don't know, but go ahead.
Right. And the thing is that he's listening to what they said. The thing that hurts me the most is that I said what I said. Ray came back with his critique, and now we're talking about it, and we're still not talking about the issue at hand. We're talking about the anthem. And I've tried so hard, Skip. I've done, since I've become on this side of the equation, the media, I've always tried not to be a part of the story. And what I try to do is offer my opinion and say, this is what I believe. And I haven't wavered when it comes to Colin Kaepernick, his ability to play, and Colin Kaepernick and what he originally took the knee for. I have not wavered.
You have not.
And that's my only thing. Now, Ray and I somehow become subplots to an issue. Ray should have his opinion. I should have my opinion. But I should not have to offer a critique. I shouldn't have to come back and try to explain myself to what he said last night. He said what he said. I honestly believe, Skip, that Ray and I are trying to get to the same direction, the same destination. I just believe that we're taking different paths in order to get there. I also told Ray last night, we had a very heartfelt conversation, Skip, because I've known Ray Lewis for over 2 decades. I've seen him at a
point of order. Do you think you spoke to him before or after?
I spoke to him after.
After he taped that?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
All right.
And I did not hear what he said. People, they were calling, people called me, friends called me, friends of both of ours. Did you hear what Ray said? I said, no, I haven't heard it yet. I said, but people have informed me what he said. Are you upset? No, I'm not upset. My grandmother used to have a saying, Skip. She said, son, teeth and tongue will fall out. Your teeth bite your tongue mad at your teeth, and they might part ways. She said, but son, family and friends should never fall out. I'm never going to fall out with Ray Lewis. We disagree on this issue. We disagree with what Colin Kaepernick is doing. We disagree with how we should best go about it. But that's okay. We're going to remain friends, but we can agree to disagree. I'm not upset with Ray. I'm not finna go back and forth with Ray and try to offer what they call ether him for what he said. Shannon, what are you doing? I'm not here to defend what I do or don't do. That's not the issue. Shannon Sharpe is not the issue. Ray Lewis isn't the issue. The issue is what led Colin Kaepernick to originally take a knee. And that was the unarmed killing. That was the injustices that he sees in America. And people are going unpunished. That's why he took the knee. And anything other than that should be unacceptable. But we're talking about a flag, we're talking about an anthem, and we're talking about what he did or didn't do. And all I told him last night, I said, to Ray, the optics of it, or what you said on the show, and how outspoken you've been about kneeling, because the anthem and the flag mean so much to you. So you can understand how it looked to me, given what you had said, how it looked to me doing what you did. And I don't feel that, if Colin was in that very situation, I don't know, given your stance against him, if you would have kneeled down beside him on both knees or one knee. And that was that was my only point, Ray.
What was the tone of the conversation when you first said hello?
He was upset.
Yeah.
Calls went unanswered. And like I told him, I said, Ray, eventually you're gonna pick. At first, he wouldn't take any. He wouldn't accept any of my calls. Then we started texting.
Yep.
I said, man, I'm not finna sit here. I said, dude, you think I'm about to sit here? You talking about you 42? I'm damn near 50. You think I'm finna sit here and text you back and forth? I picked up the phone. And I think by the tone of my text, he got it like, okay, big bro upset. Let's hash this out. And I was like, Ray, I get that you're upset. I say, but as one of your bears, I say, Ray, you're one of the few people that if you call Shannon Sharpe and say, bruh, I need you, I don't ask any questions. I say when. I don't say what you need. I don't say why you need it. When.
Fact.
That's it. So whatever we got going on, okay, I let him speak first. I say, I'm going to let you talk. I want you to voice your side of the equation. And then when you finish, let me have my say. We did that. Bro, I love you. I love you too. You're going to have to do your part tomorrow. I'm going to do my part tomorrow, and I'm going to move forward.
And it ended with what? That?
Bro, I love you.
Good.
Bro, you know I love you.
Beautiful.
I'm always gonna be in your corner. But before we got the phone, we disagree on this one.
So I appreciate the fact, by the way, I appreciate the fact that I get to do this show with you every day, because I love you as much as I think Ray does. We haven't been together that long, but that was a beautiful story you just told.
I appreciate it.
I realize that it makes you slightly uncomfortable that you have become part and parcel of this story. But from my perspective, you have, whether you like it or not, because you have become a profoundly powerful national voice on the Kaepernick issue, defending him and trying to continue to fight for what he's saying,
yes,
as opposed to what he's doing.
Right.
And you continue to fight for the message more than the form of the protest.
Correct.
Love it. Believe in it. Get it. Ray Lewis has been a profoundly powerful voice for the Black community in many ways. And all of a sudden, he's at odds with many in the Black community. And if you don't mind me bringing it up, I think there's a petition in Baltimore. Help me out with it.
Yes, there's a petition, and it has, I think, 20,000 as of early this morning to have his statue removed from in front of Raven Stadium. After all he's given to that community, Skip, at some point in time, we're going to have to be able to disagree. And he called me, and I could hear the pain, I could hear the anguish and the hurt, and he was almost in tears. He's like, Shay, do you understand how many death threats I've received? Do you understand that my family has received death threats, and I've had to turn this over to Baltimore PD? It shouldn't be that, Skip. Ray and I have a difference of opinions on how we should resolve this issue.
Okay.
But to have discourse, you can't be upset because one guy is not in your corner that you would want to do harm to him or his family. That's not what this is about. We should be able to have healthy dialogue. We should be able to disagree. And at the end of the day, I disagree with you, bro, but I understand, I respect your point of view. And to remove his statue, what did his statue have to do with anything? He has been very active in the Baltimore community.
Has he?
So I don't get that. You can be disappointed because he doesn't support the stance that you share with Colin Kaepernick. But it's going too far when you try to do, when you think about or you mention doing harm to him or his family. And that statue, well, if they try to remove that statue, let me tell you what's going to happen. There's two people that's going to make a lot of money. Construction companies that's taking it down and the sculptors that build it. Because when they take it down, I'm going to have two to put back up. So let's just leave the statue alone. Let's stick to the issue. Ray and Shannon are fine. We just disagree on the Colin Kaepernick situation.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.